You'll know it's on hard mode when everything starts taking 2 hits to kill. Of course, I already got hit. Hit through the gate. Nice. I would just feel like a liar that I was memorizing anything. Ah, crap. Alright. Oop, right. Timed. Alright, let's see if that's any better.
Okay. Oh my god, move. I think Leon and Jake's campaign is probably the best one on this. I don't really like Chris's at all. I'll go put it on the... Oh.
Voice still drowned out or sounded better now?
That's fair. Which one's your favorite? These people have to be wondering what the fuck.
Right on.
What the hell? Oh god, why is this shooting at me? What button? Oh. Why is this in a church? God, the fact that you played it in VR, I don't... Oh god, what the fuck's gonna happen in this room? No, we don't have time for this.
Yes. 6.
I don't mind 7. I'm not really the biggest fan of Village, though. Oh my god. I don't think I'd ever play in VR. I feel like I'd just not be good at that, but it seemed like it'd be cool.
Let me see if I can fix the gain a bit.
Oh my god, there's so many of these statues firing fuck. Why is this in a church? Like, ow! It did. I will say that's probably like the one thing. Her and Heisenberg I like. She thick.
Let's see if maybe that fixes it a little.
I've learned to hate certain things because of what, like, the community does to it. I still like her. I like her design. I like her, like, the voice actor for her. I like Iceberg for real. God, you should see me when I'm, like, playing Outlast and... What is... You have a corpse in yours. Oh, this, yeah. So I do it and shoot. Weird. Outlast Trials is a game I love the fuck out of. I could never play the first one. I think I'd probably just actually have a heart attack and pass out. Very fair. Give us more hot old women in Resident Evil.
Very true. She's much more into horror games than I am, though.
I'm gonna make... Wait, do I have to do something like here? Oh, I'm gonna make Nas play Outlast, because, like I said, I can't do it. And as far as, like... I'm glad we're getting older, Leon. Where the hell... Oh, alright. The laser scene, that's like one good part of those movies.
They didn't make the bosses any harder, though, that's for sure.
Oh, it's up there. Where are you aiming? Oh. Oh, yeah, I gotta aim at yours. Like, I was just playing... Hang on, let me take care of this. I was just playing Resident Evil 4, the original one, and I love that laser scene. Oh. This is so weird. Madonna of Sorrow. Oh, hi. I didn't even watch any of, like, the older ones, so I don't even know how anything happens. I watched the first, I think, 2? Because the third one has Claire in it, right? I don't think I saw that one. I just don't like Zilla's character.
Oh, no, 100%. We both agree that it sucks.
Like,
She's just playing a co-op with a friend who really likes the game for some reason.
Yeah. Got a fence there running to prison. Ah! Are we supposed to shoot the bells? The movies, like, you'd think that it would be hard, but they constantly fuck it up. Some of the movies are okay. Oh, I see. This one. Why? Evil company does bad things. Zombies.
Today.
Yeah, those aren't that bad. That's wrong with that guy, right? It'd be cool if, like, a good director picked up the movies. Like, oh, hang on, there's an emblem right there. I didn't need to.
I hate those frogs with a passion. Here come 2 more.
Look at these people, they're like, what? Don't look at that. You said this had boobies? Ew. Why would you?
And the funny thing too is that
Yeah, really.
the same friend is a big fan of
Oh, do they
the
just
red-haired
shoot, like,
Simon
spikes
Belmont,
and-
specifically the one from Judgment.
Black guy's definitely fucked. That was quick. Holy crap, that was fast. Leon and Helena come here and kill everybody.
always forget one bet. Actually, this is really funny how quick Medusa drops.
Oh my god.
Gets me every time.
Ew. Oh, we could have saved people? Rescue two
Yeah, it might be.
survivors. Is there like an achievement for more or like something, or is it that? Okay. Is there any other ammo and stuff? Oh, nice. What's better, a red and green or red and green or green and green? Okay, yeah, this thing didn't make that. Okay. Oh, yeah, I mean, one
Weird. Why was the 1-up not here?
I have no handgun ammo. Wonderful.
Interesting. That 1-up has never not been there.
Oh yeah, help. Man, that'd be so cool. Oh my god, you should have seen me freaking
Yeah.
trying to do the fucking
I
tile slide
don't
puzzle.
know. Actually, I guess I can kind of understand why they hired the artist of Death Note to do the art for that game.
Yeah, that
It
the
was
worst.
popular at the time, but man, did it not fit the franchise.
What are these? These cells? Oh. There's a guy in that one. I'm gonna take him. There we go. We just opened them all?
It also took me all of these years to realize that the outfit that Simon's wearing in this
Have a
game
good night,
is
Bubbles.
actually the outfit he's wearing on the cover of
Oh, that's one of these?
2. Yeah,
Oh, yeah, that's
seriously. I also don't know why they nerfed Maria for that either. The whole point of Maria was to make the game easy for people that just couldn't handle the difficulty, because the PC engine in Japan had a much broader audience at that time than Nintendo did. So bringing it here and making her significantly worse kind of defeated the entire purpose of having her in the game at all.
It says when there's a checkpoint, though, right? It just shows you open nothing. This mission off the side of the those skinwalkers. Yeah. Yeah, why would he not want me?
Well, they didn't nerf her into oblivion, but they did make some of her attacks weaker, reduce some of her hitboxes. It wasn't like the worst thing in the world, but
Thank you.
the whole point was just to give people a break that were struggling with it. But I guess by the time it came here, so many people knew about it. They figured, what the hell? Oh no, yeah, I mean, she's still necessary. It's just they kind of weakened her.
They were just like elbowing him in the face. Oh, damn.
It might just have to do with more of the legend behind the game and them feeling that audiences now could handle a higher difficulty anyway.
A child could break out of here. Oh, hang on. Do you need help?
Oh shit. I hate using the axe for this fight.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, didn't she say you wanted to save like every motherfucking person we walked into? Tell me, Helena.
Yeah,
Okay, hang on.
it's definitely far more accessible. Like you said, even as Richter. Which I think is fine, because the game has pretty damn good replay value. But yeah, I think by the time they released it, you had to like, now it's on a PlayStation, different audience. We don't have to worry about it.
Exactly. That's just what Leon does.
This is so much slower with the axe.
Oh, okay. I went into this toilet.
One of the other funny things with Richter is that in the Super Nintendo Dracula X, they accidentally sped up his walking animation by 1.5 times, so it looks like he's walking way faster than he actually is, which gives him the perception that he's moving super slow.
That sounds awkward. Also, yes, we can walk and talk. I don't know how big it is. What is that? Does she like work for Umbrella? So like, why
Happy New Year, Javier.
Oh.
Wait, it didn't hit. Okay.
How many of these did he make? Why does he like her so much? Are these all supposed to be things that catch you?
I love how easy they make these bosses in the beginning. Yeah, no, I wholeheartedly agree. I mean, the first time I played Dracula X, it was when it came out on the Super Nintendo, and back then, had no idea about Rondo of Blood.
Wonderful.
Just remember the game pissing me the hell off. Ooh. I have never died in this room before. I am so bad at multitasking. Ooh, I wonder if the Medusa heads are gonna still die in one hit with the leather whip.
Oh, there's dogs underneath. Oh, there's zombies coming in.
Can't even reach it. But yeah, the game is absolutely gorgeous. Although I didn't really like the way that they made Dracula's second form look. I think the one from Rondo and Symphony is better, but just different artist taste.
Where'd you go? Oh. How do I get down there? I can't, I guess. Yeah, I
That
see
and
it.
considering they
It's
couldn't bring
floating
over the
over.
CD sound, they did a hell of a job with that soundtrack.
Really?
Oh, I knew a second one was coming.
Yeah, it's... Wow. I thought you went under this because it looks like you can. Yeah, I see it now. Get in these. Can I go in these vents or no?
Funny thing with this stage right here, you don't actually have to go up at all.
Which way? The way I was came from?
Yeah, the exit's right there, straight across.
No, it isn't. That's why I was. The zombie just climbed up that one.
Although I guess if you're not looking to get done with the area quickly, but
Here's where we came in. Yeah, as she has to do it. Oh, what the hell? I was in a cutscene. What the? Are you fucking kidding me? Oh my god, I'm like...
yeah, it was humanish and he flew for some reason. I guess they were going for like, oh, he's
Over here.
half bat, half demon.
My
Yeah.
weapon more zombies.
But it's always weird to see Dracula fly. Goddamn frogs.
Do we have to hit these two at the same time or something? I have to imagine there's gotta be a checkpoint soon.
Huh.
Oh, okay.
Almost thought he was gonna make it up here.
Alright, cool. Fall there. Oh, is this a boss fight? I was just curious. It looks like an arena-like thing. Alright, but we can go up there. That's fine. Thank you for popping in, Ben.
For years, I also thought those gremlins were jackalopes.
A great descriptive thing.
How the hell did I just get turned around?
Thanks. Very helpful.
Lord of Darknesses was at
Thanks,
least
everybody, for
better,
popping in.
and on the N64, I was kind of half expecting it anyway. Like, yeah. Their first attempts at 3D, everyone kind of tried to do like a big flying boss because it's supposed to look more
Alright.
three-dimensional.
Good one.
So yeah, it didn't bother me too much.
Happy New Year.
That and the game's mechanics were kind of built to anticipate that, whereas Rondo of Blood really wasn't, so... I think that was the
Thank you, that was fun.
other reason what made that fight so difficult. One, the pits on the floor. Two, Richter's
How far is it?
moveset wasn't designed really for characters that move freely like that. What the hell just happened there?
Well, you have a good rest of the night, and you also have a happy New Year. See you later. Okay, no problem. I mean, it was still pretty fun. No, absolutely. All those games would just kick ass without it. But also, like you said, once you start getting the controls, it's a lot easier. I'll catch you later. Bye.
Did I really just do that? feel like sometimes they just put in ridiculous boss fights just because they don't know how else to either end an area. They want to frustrate people, or they've run out of ideas and need to extend the length of the game artificially. Fucking bad. Yeah, I agree. And they kind of looked like they tried doing a few things with some of the bosses as well to show off that they knew what they were doing. I mean, I wouldn't really be surprised if they were told by their superiors, like, oh, we're pretty much done with this system, but we still want to put out another game on it. You guys can probably slap something together because you're not that great anyway. Just use the assets from this old game and figure it out. They did do a hell of a job with stage 1, though, that's for sure. I think those fire effects were way better than they were on the TurboGrafx 16, but I mean, Super Nintendo was more powerful, but those were some damn cool effects. health. Let's see if I can still tank this boss. Just realized I'm making pretty good time. 40 minutes and on stage 7. Yeah, I think an uneven floor would have been a much better compromise. In fact, there's a ROM hack out for it that did just that. It replaced the pits with an uneven floor so that the columns were all different heights. So there's still a level of challenge to it, but removing those pits makes all the difference. Oh my god. Did I really just do that? I could try it, Spooky. I legitimately don't know if I would actually be able to beat that game. Although I guess technically you have unlimited quarters on the Anniversary Collection. Or the Dominus Collection, rather. But oh my god, is that game rough. That remastered one is really damn good. Yeah, I could definitely give that ROM hack a full coverage. There's actually a few ROM hacks for Dracula X. And yes, Haunted Castle was intentionally hard because it was an arcade game, so designed to eat quarters. The revisited version, though, that was really well done. They need to let those guys at M2 just make their own game. They're the ones on the Wii that made Castlevania The Adventure Rebirth. Which was, again, that was really fucking awesome remake of that pretty awful Game Boy game. Still don't understand the point of that millipede. It never even comes up over the halfway mark of the floor. Not today, gropey old lady. You know what I think the worst part about Haunted Castle is? The way Simon walks. It's fucking mind-boggling. It seriously does look like the guy's just trying to find the nearest toilet. It's like he gets married, Dracula takes his wife, and suddenly the guy has to take the largest power shit of his life. Oh yeah. Yes, it is. It doesn't help that it also looks like the man's wearing a diaper on top of it. I mean, I guess, but he's not the first Belmont. He's kind of expecting it. Yeah, at some point in his life, Dracula's gonna show up, potentially. Oh, and if anyone is wondering why it's red in this level, all the liquid, in the US version, it was green to make it look like a sewer, but the reality is it was always supposed to be blood. But Konami was concerned that there would be an outcry from Christians in the US about it. Which is always super hilarious to me when I hear that a Japanese company censors something for the US because, I mean, let's be honest, when you think of Japan and censorship, you just think of black lines or just completely blurred out with a mosaic. it's really funny, but I think the big thing that they were concerned about in the U.S. in the 80s and 90s is, as far as they were concerned, really getting into consumer electronics and shipping things like that abroad, and their companies getting more known in the country. Ah, shit. Whoops. You have to start everything over in this board. As far as they were concerned, like, oh, everybody in the U.S. is this ultra-conservative, tight-ass Christian, and if they think you're mocking Christianity, like, you're just gonna be barred from doing business in the country. I mean, to some degree, they weren't exactly wrong, but those special interest groups didn't hold as much authority at that point. And what's even funnier about it is, with Rondo of Blood, they had signed an agreement with NEC for the PC Engine that the game was never going to get released outside of Japan. Like, there was no Western port ever planned. The way it was written, the exclusivity deal was to keep the game 100% in the US. Yeah, it wasn't called the Bible. The holy waters were, oh my god, what do we call them? Not glycerin bombs. Fire bombs, did we call them? It was something bomb. So the idea was supposed to be that it was a bottle of nitroglycerin or a Molotov cocktail. The cross was a boomerang. In fact, if you watch the opening cutscene of this game, where it's Dracula's tombstone, yeah, Tipper Gore. Yep, because of her, the MPAA and parental advisory label on music exist. But if you look at the opening cutscene of this game, with Dracula's tombstone, and then watch the European or the Japanese version, you'll see that there's actually a crucifix. I'm gonna die there. Oh my god. I really can't multitask. I'm like a baby. I can't walk and talk. But yeah, there's a crucifix on top of Dracula's tombstone. And the coffins, if you noticed before in Stage 7, the coffins had a crucifix on them, but they don't in the US version. Oh man, I'm just getting super sloppy now. Oh, what I was saying before with Rondo of Blood, when Konami signed the exclusivity deal, the developers, especially the artists, were actually very happy about that, because they said they could put more human anatomy onto their bosses that would be censored in the US, which, again, is really ironic, but Japan's Victorian laws basically state if it's not pornography and it's art, you can have that level of nudity. And if you play the Japanese version of Rondo of Blood, oops, man, and if you really pay attention to that, the werewolf fight in stage 2. When the werewolf dies and he turns human and then fades away, he's completely naked, and his dick is just right out. And when you play the PSP version, he's wearing a loincloth. Because they had to censor it when it came to the US finally. Oh no, yeah, 100% peasant. It was just... She used her platform as a politician's wife. Wait, did I say Tipper Gore? I think I said Tipper Gore. It wasn't Tipper Gore. Shit. What was her? Dole. Bob Dole's wife? Or no, was it Tipper Gore? Now I'm confusing myself. And I'm probably gonna die here again. Oh, it's like I can't think straight. I'm like, goes up, then it goes down. But then you had Senator Joel Lieberman as well from Connecticut. Famously brought the fucking light guns from, not Sunset Riders. It was another was it Mad Dog McCree? It was from a arcade, one of the light gun shooters. He's like, kids can get these guns that look realistic, and he's holding up a blue plastic light gun. It's like, yeah. Okay, it was Tipper Gore. Okay. I don't know why I confuse that sometimes with Bob Dole's wife. Right, because he was sitting vice president at the time under... No, not yet. Oh, wait, no, he was. Yeah. Oh, my God, I am losing my fucking mind. No, wait, was Al Gore Clinton's vice president or Bush's? Okay, he wasn't vice president yet. This was the 80s. Okay, he was Clinton's. It was Dan Quaylen who was Bush Sr.'s vice president. Why do I remember these useless facts about politicians from the 80s and 90s? Oh wait, Dan Quayle, not Quaylen. Quaylen was the name of John Lithgow's character in Cliffhanger with Sylvester Stallone. Yes, she was. So, funny enough, that whole thing with the Parental Advisory Board for music forming, the most notable speech was probably given by Dee Snider from Twisted Sister. And, you know, me being into rock and everything in the 80s and 90s, like, Dee was awesome. Turns out years later, in high school, a new kid moved into town, and his name was Jesse Snider. Turns out his parents were the Snyders. That was awesome. Got to see Dee Snider quite a lot. That took way too much brain power for me to figure that out. I must be getting fucking tired. You know, I hope that's the reason why I remember it, but I also just have memory of just really random shit, too. Like me just realizing that it was Vice President Quail, not Quailin, and Quailin was John Lithgow's villain name from 1994's Cliffhanger. But I'm going to take your take on it, because that makes me feel slightly better. Oh my god. Oh no, I'm going to... Yeah, there's a reason I gave myself the rant moniker. Because I just start randomly spewing random shit. There was that fact for sure. Frank Zappa was, and it's funny because so was D, but Congress did not expect D. Snyder or Frank Zappa to be as intelligent and well-spoken as they were. They were basically invited to testify and give their statement because the Senate committees really thought they were just going to be able to rip them apart for being idiots, thinking that their musical personas on stage were them, not understanding that no, it's like music's an art. That's just the medium that they chose. Then again, I really can't blame them for Frank Zappa. I mean, at that point, his kids' names and the way he acted on stage, yeah, you probably wouldn't think he was the most intelligent guy in the room. Oh, and then, what's his name? The other shock rocker from the 70s and 80s. Shit. Feed My Frankenstein. Alice Cooper. There we go. Alice Cooper was another highly, highly intelligent rock artist. I can't remember if it was Fred Astaire, but he lived next to a famous Hollywood celebrity, you know, who was big in the 40s and 50s. And Alice would go over there every night and just sit at the guy's bedside and just chat with him because he was lonely and dying. I think it was Fred Astaire, or maybe Gary Cooper. Steve Vai is definitely another one of those crazy, eclectic rock artists. Personally, not the biggest fan of him, but I definitely respect the hell out of what he's done. I mean, who the hell would think to fucking just put a microphone at your baby's mouth and be like, nah, I'll just record the noises the baby makes and then put some guitar riffs around it and make it work. Peter Frampton had his whole, I can make the guitar talk, and then Steve Vai and Zappa come, oh my god, I did it again, but I think I at least start no, oh thank god. Takes 40 minutes for me to get to level 8. 25 minutes, still in level 8. I hate this level. Actually always liked in Wayne's World 2 when they go to the Alice Cooper concert and they get the backstage tickets and Alice Cooper is just telling them the entire history of Milwaukee and the Native American tribe that it was named after, and they're just sitting there like no, yeah, you are right, and I am playing it on hard mode. It's just, I hate the environmental one-hit kills. It's just such a cheap tactic. And then making an entire level built around it is just asinine. Oh my god, why did I just do that? I knew not to do that. Yeah, it definitely does take a lot for an artist to admit that. Andy Warhol had the same problem with, was it Jean-Baptiste? The Haitian artist that was basically doing what Warhol was, but better. Oh, sweet Jesus. Oh my god. There's zero pattern to that fucking bridge. People have gutted this game down to see if there was some kind of pattern that the developers put in. Nope. And then the monster is like every other boss. No challenge at all. This way I don't take it again. Alright, key is to wait for 3 of them in a row. Yeah, man. Fuck it. Oh my god. Oh my god, I got impatient. And LSD and acid. That was a hell of a time. Ah, my beautiful high score. Oh, look at that. That time it took no fucking brain power for me to figure out that simple pattern. Scheiße. Live. My God. Huh. That does sound interesting. Oh boy. Is this gonna be a good thing or a bad thing? I don't know why, I just have a feeling you're about to say Rain Man. You know what? I will fucking take that. Of course. That man is a national treasure, so I am honored to remind somebody of that. Yep. It's funny when you go back and you watch older movies and you're like, oh shit. Like, that dude was in this? I can't remember if it was either Grease or Fast Times at Ridgemont High was Nicolas Cage's first movie. Oh, mother of God. I think the first movie I saw Jeff Goldblum in was probably The Fly. Love that movie. Yeah, that was a damn good era, especially for New York City. Oh my... In a lot of ways, that whole music scene started to transform New York into, more of a cultural melting pot. Because at that point in the 70s, it was... You did not want to be in New York City, any of the 5 boroughs. And that's from me coming as a New Yorker. Like, the movie The Warriors, yeah, that wasn't that far off. But once art started coming back in the form of music, the city started to get some more money flowing into it. And then in the 90s, you'd have Giuliani come in and kind of clean up the subway system. Disney bought most of Midtown. But yeah, that all really started back with the whole punk scene, which was really just a counter-revolution for the people at the time, more than even it was a kind of music. Yeah, him and Lou Costello in the UK. Oh, oh my god. Actually, you know what? I'm sorry. I'm gonna cheat for the first time. I don't want to... Look at that, time travel. Oh. Oh. Son of a bitch. Oh. Oh. I'm sorry. I can't keep doing this stage. Oh no, you are not winning, motherfucker. Ah, oh, thank Christ. Alright, the run was completely legitimate up until that bridge. Actually, now that I think about it, I don't think I've actually cleared stage 9 on hard mode yet. Yeah, no, it's stupid obnoxious. The fact that they programmed no fucking pattern into it is just ludicrous. There should be one more bet. And I guarantee it respawns and still knocks me off. Fuck you. Yeah, the last 3 stages just have some really dumb stuff in them. The whole moving platform thing in stage B. Those 2 skeletons right there also have no proper programming in them. They can sometimes quadruple in spawn, and with those chests or the little piles of gold that are held up that you can jump onto, you can't stop moving. And sometimes the game will just have them stop right at the edge, just throwing bones, and there's just nothing you could do but die. Yeah, 100%. I mean, one of the things they could have done... Oh, shit. They could have just not put respawns in. Oh, whatever. I got enough out of it. Yeah, this is like that part of the game where the music finally starts to kick in. This is, as far as I'm concerned, with the exception of the first stage, all of the other quote-unquote music is just ambient noise. And some of it just doesn't make any sense at all. Like, stage 3 with the waterfall part, you got like this weird jazz funk. I don't know what that was supposed to be. I mean, for ambient background noise, it's not the worst in the beginning half of the game, but every other Castlevania up until this point and afterwards, like the first several stages of the game, have arguably the strongest songs for the entire game, and that's because the whole point is to kind of hype the player up. And then it kind of mellows out a little in the middle. And then by the end of the game, you know, you get your big scores to finish it up. Oh, shit. Yeah, there we go. Well, next stage should be Vampire Killer, and then B, I think, is Bloody Tears. Also, whoever designed Dracula's security for this castle, I would have that person killed. Like, alright, sir, we're going to have a treasure room. And then in that treasure room, we're going to have a bat that's made out of your treasure guarding it. And when it dies, but it'll never die, sir, trust me, it'll never die. But if it does die, a staircase will come down that leads directly to your keep. But it'll never die. So this is actually a really good rendition of Bloody Tears. So, like, I don't know why they didn't put this kind of focus into the earlier levels instead of having just background noise. Oh, okay. Ah, look at that. Third time's a charm. Why, is there something going on in the background? Because, honestly, I can't hear. Oh, shit. Oh, fair. You know what? Never happened. You motherfucker, I knew you were... Yeah, that's right, buddy. I've actually looped that so many times on the Anniversary Collection that I've had 4 of those guys spawn there. Ooh, there's more of them this time. Whew, that actually makes that a hell of a lot worse. Son of a bitch. Okay. Nope. Oh, this is so much fun. I wish I knew about this emulator way long... Oh. I say that and I still fuck it up. Let's see how much worse they made this. Oh, Dragon and an Axe Knight. Oh, that's gonna hit. That may have actually been fine. Nope, it's not fine. This totally should have been where you fought death as well. Fuck that. Huh. And then again here. All right, sir, we're going to make you a clock tower, but it's not going to work because it's made out of stone. It's be guarded by your mummy. But if the mummy dies, the invisible blocks to get further into your keep appear. But don't worry, sir, he'll never die. Oh my god. Yeah, and it's even weirder because it's not even a real clock. It's made out of stone. So it's like, what the hell was the point of that? Yeah. Yep. Chaos theory in action right there. Oh shit. That thing caught up fast. Really? Nope, not health. Come on, someone give me a goddamn wall turkey. Nope. Oh, you know what? I think that's... Ha! Nope, not today. In fact, let's go back and get a little more life. Yeah, there's good. Nope, nope. There was not good. Oh. Fucking big bird. Oh, you piece of shit. Ah. Alright, 17 hearts, but this should be doable. I bet he hits a hell of a lot harder on fucking hard, though. Oops. Wow, he stays up there a hell of a lot longer on hard mode, huh? Wow. Nope. Wow. You know what? I might just let myself die. Now that I kind of have an idea of what's going on. Alright. So he's going to stay in the air a hell of a lot longer this time. I don't really need a sub-weapon, though. Okay. Let's take this all the way back, now that I have a better idea. Huh, wonder how far back this will let me fucking rewind. Huh. I'll be damned. Look at that, right back to the beginning. Ooh. You son of a bitch. Ooh, you know what, lads? Alright. Up to Dracula. But I'll be back in a couple. I did not realize it was this close to midnight. My wife will probably kill me if I don't go out there, and I'll be back in 3 minutes to finish it up. Happy early New Year's. I'll be back in like 4 minutes. Actually, real quick, if no one knows about this, now you do. That is not a hack. That's just in the game. The only thing you gotta be careful of is the jump. Alright. BRB. Seacrest still.